I'm Tobin owner of Temple Kinesis, also known as Kinesis Athletics Clubs, and Lost Kings Media Publishing. I just wanted to talk today about a common issue I see both in the fitness world, people trying to heal themselves and improve themselves, cultivate their bodies and their minds, as well as the music and art and entertainment world that we are focused in. Working with artists going from citizen to celebrity. Ideally, this is what public would see them as, but more importantly, it's taking somebody who has been brought up in a system of fear and doubt and unconfidence, and liberating, we'll say, them to a new system that they determine themselves of confidence and courage. Let's just stick with those two. It's a consciousness of courage and confidence, and that's what we're looking to develop now. It's very difficult at first to develop these things on your own without external validation. What I mean by that is, when someone's undergoing weight loss or a athletic performance improvement, they don't know how well they're improving until they hear validation from somebody else. Oh my God, you look so good, or wow, you can jump really high, or you're really strong. These are the validations that people need to hear externally to understand that what they're doing internally is working. The drive that they have, the motivation, we'll say. Same thing with musicians and artists. Every artist struggles. Every person struggles. We need to realize this, but what is profound is when someone liberates themselves from their own struggle through improving themselves or their skill level or their body or their mind, the world, the universe seems to immediately recognize that and give them credit. This is why musicians have fans. This is why actors have, people that love watching their movies. This is why trainers have followers, because they get results for their clients. Their clients reflect that in reality. Now, what's really important to understand with this conversation, with this subject matter, is that external motivations will be gone one day. There will be a day that you wake up and you might not see anybody for that entire day, but you still need to motivate yourself. There are two forms of motivation. Primary form, external motivation, comes from other people. Hey, you're doing a good job. Thanks, I believe you. Now I'm going to apply that to myself in the future. But what's most important is cultivating and garnering and understanding how to develop an intrinsic, an internal motivation. This comes from us. This comes from our heart. This comes from our collective experiences. This comes from the environments we were raised in, but at the same time, the belief we have in ourselves, the belief we have in our dreams, our inner confidence. Now, this does not have to be a fully confident person. This can be a really depressed person who knows how to apply their depression to what they need to get done. Now, with that said, intrinsic motivation is very, very, very difficult to cultivate, especially without outside input, without that external motivation. Somebody telling you, hey, great job. How are we ever going to develop that ourselves when we live in a world where everybody's telling us how much better we need to be, how much smarter we should learn to be, how much competition there is? In reality, none of that makes any sense. The only competition you will ever have is with yourself. Now, this is how you develop intrinsic motivation. You take these things you've heard from other people externally and you tell them to yourself, hey, you're doing a great job. Hey, don't give up. Light is at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel is right there. I can get there. I should not hesitate. I should not debate. I should not doubt myself. Everything that I need to do to accomplish my goals, I have the ability to do. Now, I understand this is difficult in terms of confidence to develop. This is the way we've been conditioned. This world, unfortunately, we'll say society, does not want us to liberate ourselves. There is mental slavery going on, and we know this. This is clear. We see people revolting city across city, trying to fight for something. They don't know what they're fighting for. They just feel like somebody's oppressing them, and they want to liberate themselves. This is beautiful. Trouble is, we have not ever been taught intrinsic motivation. So we have this fire, but we don't know how to apply it to anything. Now, the key is taking the advice you hear from other people, great job, and turning that inward. I'm trying to do something. I have my inner fire raging. What do I apply it to? Well, when somebody gave us a compliment, what was that compliment for? I did really well at writing a poem. I did really well at doing push-ups. Use that intrinsic fire, that inner fire, to channel towards something that you're already pretty good at that you want to master, or something that you consider yourself pretty bad at and you want to become competent or proficient in. This is the application of intrinsic motivation. It's the same thing from the outside, but we need to generate it from the inside, from inside the heart. When we can hear our own voice saying, keep going, keep pushing, don't give up. Success is right around the corner. If it's not around that corner, it's around the next corner, so never ever give up. When this can come from inside us, instead of outside us and everything we hear and we perceive and other people tell us, no failure will ever be possible. Progress is the only thing that we are guaranteed. Not even change, positive, beneficial change. Progress will be made when you can internalize that which we are depending on the outside for right now. So with all this said, I encourage you, my friends, to look within yourself for the help that other people have been giving you. Have a wonderful day, motivate yourselves, and I promise you, by shining your own light, you will liberate somebody else. You won't have to ever tell them how to do good. They will see you doing good, and they will take that example, and they will work harder to be a better person in their next moment, in their next day, in their next week. And you have done that through motivating and inspiring yourself through intrinsic motivation. So thank you. Do good for yourself, do good for others, and always be your greatest motivator. Do not depend or rely on anybody else. You are all you need in this world, and I am telling you, you have infinite possibility inside of you. You just have to remind yourself of it. Have a great day.